Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining today. My name is Bucci Law, and I am your host on today's episode of the Leadership Standard. For those who do not know, the Leadership Standard is a platform where we analyze social political issues affecting the world, affecting Africa, and also affecting Nigeria, most especially Nigeria. So today we will be talking about some of those issues. And please, if you're just joining us for the first time, please like us on our social media platforms, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as on Instagram. All right. And please put your comment section. Let's know that you are watching and let me know where you're watching from. All right. Having said that, I want to welcome everyone here again. Again, my name is Bucci Law, and today's conversation is going to be focused on, some of the things that have happened in the past, like the Queen of England's passing, the comments that followed up with the passing of the Queen, and even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial, and what the future holds. So let's just dive right into it, okay? As I said initially, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is the Leadership Standard. All right, everyone, welcome again to another episode of the Leadership Standard. Before I begin, I want to just say that there is something that is going on right now in Lagos, Nigeria, and that is something that everyone needs to be concerned about. All right, everyone needs to be concerned about this. There has been an issue of, pretty much bad buildings, terrible buildings, buildings that have been collapsing left, right, and center. Good morning, Maza Chisom. Welcome. So I want to just share this because it is that you are seeing a lot of most times you see a lot of this collapsing happening. Look at this. 84 Lagosians have been killed in 2 years just because of building collapse alone. Building collapse has killed 84 people in Lagos. Over 84 people. And the list is still counting. So what am I trying? Why am I bringing this story up? I'm bringing this story up because sometimes, a lot of people are taking shortcuts in building their homes and building properties for people to live in. And it needs to stop because we've seen how no fewer than 84 persons have lost their lives, according to Punch newspaper. This was the latest one happening in Victoria Island, Oniru. And if you know how expensive it is to live in Victoria Island, you understand why it is a call for concern. It is a very expensive place to live. And now we're seeing how people are losing their lives because of bad, terrible infrastructures. On September 10, 2020, a story building partially collapsed in Lagos State as a result of lack of maintenance. Although no life was lost, barely 9 days later, another building collapsed, three-story edifice in a private school in Ejigbo. Fortunately, schools were not in session, thank God. All right. So we've been seeing a lot of these collapses, and lives have been lost by this. And why am I bringing this story up? I'm bringing this story up to highlight the fact that it doesn't pay to take shortcuts sometimes. All right. Sometimes it's some people get away with it, but when it comes to issues of life and properties of people, when you're building a home that you want to rent out to people that you want to live in, it is best that you follow proper procedure. And it is terrible that the Lagos State government, even not just the Lagos State government alone, but other governments, they they allow corruption to take place in whether giving permits or they don't even inspect this kind of homes. And it is time for the Nigerian government, the Lagos government, to pay particular attention to this because this is about to get even worse. A lot of homes are being, collapsing left, right, and center, and it is terrible. So, having said that, I'm going to dive into main issue, Elizabeth passing. So, as you all know, the Queen of England is dead. All right, she is dead, and now a lot of people have been bashing her on social media, and and if you look at the history of the Queen of England, you realize that it is a history or even not the Queen of England, but also the history of the British, Britain. It is a history of colonialism. All right, they're the ones who took colonialism to its peak. Most people might say, "Oh, well, it's not just the British that did it." Well, it's not just the British that did it. But to be honest with you, they did it pretty well. The British, they played this colonial game pretty well, to the point that even to today, they still have structures in place to ensure that there is money coming into the system. That there is money coming into the system. All right. That is what the structure that this British people have done. So we have our sister here, our Igbo sister here, who is who has been coming at the queen, coming at the empire, and she has made a lot of points, bro. She has made a lot of powerful points, and these points are real, true points. These are points that are you cannot hide the truths. All right. The Queen of England was aware of the genocide that was happening with Igbo people back when Biafra, was fighting for its independence. The Biafrans are still fighting for their independence, by the way. But back then, when the Civil War was ravaging, from 1967 to 1970, the Civil War was hot. So we know that the Queen of England came to Nigeria in 1960 for all the independence, ceremonies and everything. So she had a legitimate stake in Nigeria. All right, and we also know that there was oil in Nigeria. Oil, massive oil. All right, there was massive oil in Nigeria. So the queen cannot now say that she wasn't aware of what was going on. And we're aware that the Nigerian government was getting military aid, military support from the British. All right, and the Queen of England, as a then, she was the head of state. She was the head of state of the British, of the UK, as well as the head of state of other Commonwealth nations. Right, she was the head of state of other Commonwealth nations. So think about it. So you cannot tell me. So she cannot say she wasn't aware of what was going on. But because of the fact that she had the British are then and the whole leadership back then, they had I'm going to use the word, a greedy stake in Nigeria. They did not want to let the Biafrans go because the Biafrans had oil, right? So our beautiful sister here, Uju Anya, who's a professor, a Nigerian-born American professor, she went on to say that Queen Elizabeth was a representative of the cult of white womanhood. There's this notion that she was this little old lady, grandmaster with a little hat and her purses and her little dogs and everything, as if she inhabited this place or this space in imaginary. This public image as someone who didn't have a hand in the bloodshed of her crown. How did she have that crown? Even the crown she wears are looted and plundered from the lands that they exploited and extracted from. The entire treasury is the legacy of thievery was achieved by murder, by enslavement, and it did not stop after independence. Whoo! I don't know about you, man, but let me tell you, if there is anybody that can use words as powerful as this, that person has my love. Because you can tell the truth and you can be very precise and you can be very direct. Yes, all those golds, all those diamonds, the British, they came, they destroyed the way of life. Let me tell you, if the British never set foot in West Africa for the goal of slave trade, do you know how different Africa would have been right now? Do you know how more powerful independent nations would have been right now? Of course, there's going to be issues. There's going to be a little bit of problems here and there. But let me tell you, the problem is not going to be like the way Nigeria is right now, where it's moving in circles. I keep telling people every day that Nigeria is moving in circles. And people tell me, what do you mean by that? The reason why I say Nigeria is moving in circles, think about it. When you go back home, there's still no lights. There's still no good roads. There's still no good airport system. There's still no good, air quality. All of those things are things that can tell you that Nigeria is moving in circles. Nobody is making that much progress. There's still insecurity. Any country that is moving in a progression, every year you will see the GDP going higher and higher. You see the quality of life going higher and higher. If they say that, this year it only takes you 65, before you lose your life. Next year, because of its moving, the country is making progress. They might say, okay, 75 is the rate for people before they pass on. We're not saying that in Nigeria because Nigeria is moving in circles. And one of the people that has caused Nigeria to move in circles, or one of the nations, if you ask me, and from what this article is saying, is the British Empire, which was supervised by the Queen of England, the late Queen of England. And people say, oh, you shouldn't talk bad about the dead. Duh, you can talk bad about the dead. If they are part of the problems that have created in this time on age, you can still talk about what they did. I'm saying it doesn't take away the fact that yes, the Queen of England might have been a very good person. She might have, taken care of so many people. She might have given money to a lot of charities. It's okay. But that doesn't take from the fact that she also supervised the genocide of the Biafran people in Nigeria. All right. So don't let anyone deceive you. And even if you want to be deceived, it's fine for you to be deceived, but don't expect everybody to be deceived, and don't expect everybody to act like you and say, oh, God bless the Queen. Oh, please have mercy on the Queen. Not everybody's happy with the Queen. All right. Not everybody's happy with the Queen. All right. So she went on to say this. I'm trying to do okay. I haven't been on Twitter because she was locked out of Twitter, but the hate is coming into my email inbox. People are saying, oh, I don't know what you're on about because the Queen oversaw the independence of Nigeria and Trinidad. That's meaningless. They were still Commonwealth nations. Do you know what it is to be a Commonwealth nation? How the heck can you call me an independent person but still lump me up with a Commonwealth nation? Then every year I have to do a Commonwealth Games to make the Queen happy. Do you understand what is going on here? Back when I was even younger, I would watch the Commonwealth Games. I would see how people would be lining up, doing all these things, and I'd be wondering, like, why are we playing the Commonwealth Games when there's already the Olympics? There was Olympics already, so why are we doing the Commonwealth Games? It didn't make sense to me. That is because of the fact that they were doing all of that to honor the Queen, honor the aristocracy, right? And if you look at what's going on right now, you see that at least in the UK, they have a centralized monarchical system. They have a centralized monarchical system. We all know at least it's the Queen of England. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria has created this, there's this system of, what's the word now I'm looking for? Of this aristocracy where every village has one king, another village has queens, and there's just this lump of kings and queens and kings and queens, and everybody's just creating confusion. And one of the reasons why this is happening is because of the UK system as well. Because most of these people are learning from how they've done all these things. They want the same kind of power. The next thing they go and call themselves, I am this Igwe in this community. I am this Igwe in this community. I am this Oba of this nonsense. And this is why there's a lot of confusion in the place. And without shame, Nigeria is still carrying itself as a member of the Commonwealth. Apart from the grants that come in, what exactly has the Commonwealth really benefited Nigerians? I want to know. And I might be wrong. I'm open to learning. But what exactly has been the benefit of the Commonwealth to Nigeria? We don't even have the pass. Nigerians do not even have visa to travel to the UK whenever they want to. The UK is not open to Nigerians. So what is the benefit? But the British can travel to Nigeria anytime they want to. So what is the benefit of being part of the Commonwealth? If you cannot travel to the UK whenever, if to say there was a way whereby, okay, say yes, we are part of the Commonwealth, and because of that, every Nigerian has access to the UK for 6 months whenever they want to, as long as they come back to Nigeria, they can keep traveling to the UK every 6 months. That will make sense. But that's not the way it is. They still close the borders away from Nigeria. So what is the benefit of the Commonwealth? Is it scholarship? Is it only scholarship, Commonwealth scholarship? What exactly does it relate to individuals? So when you look at how much they've stolen from us, stolen from Black people, stolen from our history, killed our parents, killed our grandmothers, you'll see the reason why people are angry with these people. All right? Slavery and colonialism caused direct pain to a lot of people. Direct pain. So you cannot come here and tell people how to react with pain. All right? You cannot tell people how to react with pain. So when people tell you, she went on to say, speak no ill of the dead is a weapon that's leveled against the oppressed to silence them. to lionize oppressors and to sanitize their history. What respect am I supposed to have for her or for our family? Oh, well, our family is mourning her, our family is mourning her as well. Okay, yes, we can say that the family is mourning her, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that people cannot talk about what went down back in the 60s and in the night. We were all lumped together, and we not everyone is happy about that. All right, not everybody's happy about that. Some people are saying that the Queen should, and even the whole system, the British Empire of the British monarchy, it should all be abolished.
That there was a genocide against the Biafra people,
Right.
the who were trying, the Igbo people who were trying to form an independent nation of Biafra. They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other, don't even speak each other's language, don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time, smushed them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and called them countries and named those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves. And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, their puppet Nigerian governments weren't going to do that either because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
And Britain needed it for its own interests and uses. So Great Britain got directly involved in this civil war and in the war for independence, and decided that they would do everything to make sure.
Listen, this particular story was amazing. I think you guys should go watch it. And if you guys want me to post the link for the full video, I can post this link for our full video so you can watch what she has to say. All right. Some people, Mazi Chisom said, I wish she spoke about the fight for Biafra with, IPOB and everything. It's okay. It's going to take a while. Some people might need to dance outside for a minute before they come inside and dance in the main square. Sometimes when people dance outside, it's where they feel the most comfortable. All right. Again, it doesn't take away the fact that the Biafran question is on everyone's lips. Everyone's lips. The Biafran question is on everyone's lips. Everybody's going to fight their own fight wherever how they feel comfortable. As long as the objective is still there, as long as she said Biafra. All right? As long as she said Biafra, Nigeria can do whatever it wants to do. It can never stop people from speaking up. Oh, yeah? Yeah. This lady is speaking up to the point that even Jeff Bezos, the Amazon owner, one of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos, spoke about a tweet. If you don't know this woman's tweet, she made a tweet that was when the Queen was still about to pass on, and she said that she wants the Queen to experience the same amount of pain that other people have experienced before she leaves this earth. And some people were very uncomfortable with that statement. But again, she did not wish the Queen dead. She only said what she said. All right. So, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that people need to understand that conversations are allowed. The reason why Nigerians are killing people that are shouting for Biafra in Nigeria now is senseless. Because if you allow for people to air their view, conversation is a part of therapy. Me coming out to talk like this is a part of therapy. All right. You listening to is also might be a part of therapy. But at the end of the day, as long as people are being able to talk, it creates openness, it creates vulnerability. Why would you stop people from talking? You don't want people to talk about Biafra, but they're talking about Biafra in the US, they're talking about Biafra in the UK, they're talking about Biafra in Geneva, they're talking about Biafra in Switzerland, they're talking about Biafra in Spain, they're talking about Biafra in Catalina, they're talking about Biafra in Ethiopia. Everywhere you go to, they're talking about, but in Nigeria, they don't want you to talk about Biafra, where the whole thing started from, where the whole thing originated from. It is stupid. People must be able to talk about these things. And any government that wants to come into Nigeria and wants to still play the same mantra of trying to stifle conversations and trying to subject people from speaking up is only creating doom for themselves. So I want to give a round of applause to this lady for speaking her mind. I'm all about open conversation. People who know me I will tell you, listen, I like to hear what you have to say. And if I support what you have to say, I would even sometimes I might even use it to create a conversation. But I'm not all about shut up your mouth. Don't say that, blah blah blah. Don't, as long as what you are saying is not trying to create harm to another person, is not trying to create fraud, or is not trying to deceive another person. As long as what you're saying is the truth, please, by all means, say what's on your mind. Say what's on your mind. And that's why I love this woman, because she did say what's on her mind. And everyone needs to say what's on their mind. Amen. So please let us be out there and let us be vocal about how we feel, not just even in our own, not just only in politics, but in our day-to-day life. How do you feel at work? Are you happy at work? Even if you're not happy at work, you have to be able to express yourself. How do you feel about your situation right now? Are you happy? Can you talk about it? Can you share it? Don't keep it anything is committing suicide every day. Why? Because they're holding things inside. Tell the world how you feel. Tell the world how you feel. That's exactly what this woman is doing. And it will be very unfair for people to tell us not to listen to her because of what she's saying, or because you don't like the person she's speaking about. Don't let anybody take away your expression. God gave us this mouth and tongue and teeth and voice for a reason. And I'm going to use my voice. I'm a lawyer already. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer already. So it is already natural. It comes naturally for me to speak up and tell people how I feel. And even tell people how other people feel and speak for other people. So don't come here and think you can stifle Igbo people. Igbo people will never be stifled. All right?
It will be wrong of me to leave this mic without saying to Britain and everybody else who care, we do not mourn the death of a colonizer and a murderer who came and killed our people, and she's wearing proudly a stolen coat on her head. We have nothing to do with the queen. Lele bolailemba tubarena ba utswa di minerale tsa mo Africa, ba utswa di minerale tsa all over Africa. Today, people tweet, hey, we mourn the queen. But when Helen Zille tweeted and said that not everything is bad about colonialism, you all said Helen Zille is a racist. How can she praise colonialism? By mourning and praising the queen, you are celebrating colonialism. You are not different from Helen Zille. We were not colonized by the land called Britain. We were colonized by the leadership of Britain that killed our people. So we must not be asked to do wrong things here. We are very clear. The queen does not represent anything good. Britain has got a lot of gold, yet they don't have a single mine of gold. Those are stolen goods. We must talk about reparation. We must talk about the return of the gold. We must talk about the return of the stolen diamond, and not these other side issues which are not important to us. How can you be oppressed for so many years? After liberation, you've got nothing to show that we have been liberated. You have no land, you have got no bank.
Everyone who can speak is speaking up. Everyone who can say what is on their mind is saying what's on their mind. We all know these things. Let's not hide from our own history. Don't let people subjugate you from speaking up and hiding from your own history. There's a lot of theft that went down, even in the Benin Empire. They were stealing artifacts. Go to the British Museum, go to all the museums around Europe. You see a lot of artifacts that belong to Nigeria in the museums. People are paying. Even Nigerians are paying to go there to go see those things that they stole from our forefathers. And now the queen has died. You are crying like she knew your name personally. She did not. Even our own children. She was attacking some of our own children and some of our own, family members. Go and see Prince Harry. Go and see Princess Diana. Go and see Meghan Markle. Go and see how they feel about the queen. People that are close to her, people who saw her more than you did. But a lot of people are now here acting. I don't care if the British people, mourn the queen. They can. All right. She was part of their government. They can mourn her. But my question is to you that you are in Nigeria, you that you're an Igbo person, you that you suffered from the genocide. What exactly is your benefit from mourning her? Are they going to give you a check after you mourn her? What exactly is your benefit? If you cannot tell yourself the truth and you deceive yourself, then woe to you. All right, you can see this man telling the truth. So I don't want to spend too much time with this issue of the queen. I just want you to know that a lot of people have found their confidence to say how they really felt about the queen. I might do a second episode about the queen later. If you guys want me to, I might. But I want to show a video about what went down in the past few days in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and he's in trial government, claiming terrorism and whatnot. But they lucky. There was the case was transferred. The case had an early hearing. There was an early hearing for the case. Thank God. So it's moving forward. But this is one of the things that transpired in the trial. I want to show you before we leave.
On arrival, and they were dead on arrival, as I pretend them, as dead as dodo. But instead of the lower court striking out the entire 50-count charge and allowing Nnamdi Kanu to go home a free man after the long walk, like Nelson Mandela, long walk to freedom, the lower court retained 7 of the counts. And we are here to say, intermediate court, court of appeal, strike out these remaining 7 counts, because the lower court never calmly looked at the documentary evidence we placed before it. The respondent, the federal government, the DSS, they never responded to the critical issues we raised, that Nnamdi Kanu was forcefully abducted in Kenya and tortured and forcefully renditioned to Nigeria on the 27th of June, 2021, against the provisions of the Terrorism Prevention Act, under which he is being charged, against the provisions of the Extradition Act, against the provisions of the African Charter on Human and People's Ratification Act, Rights Act. And the law is that when you want to take a person from another country like Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, you have to go through the certain extradition procedures. If you don't, the detaining authority, that is Kenya, have to first give you consent or permission that you can take away this subject from our jurisdiction. Kenya did not do that. In fact, Kenya said, we never told them to take Nnamdi Kanu away from here. So what the government did was to apply brute.
So let me just break it down for you, okay? So pretty much the same thing that you know already in this case is what he's saying all over again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya. Kenya did not follow the applicable laws for extradition from Kenya to Nigeria. Because before somebody is carried away from another country to another country, whether to face a crime, there has to be a extradition. There needs to be a trial, a hearing. There should be a judge. There'll be a judge that will come in and say, okay, this person was found in this country, but now we want to take him to Nigeria for trial because he has a case there in Nigeria. And that issue must be brought up after the police might have caught the person over in that country. Then there will, state prosecutors would make a case that they need to transfer this person back to his home country to face trial, right? The Kenyan government did not do that. The Nigerian government did not do that. What they did was they just kidnapped him, put him in a plane where he was wearing the same clothes that they used, and they brought him to Nigeria. And that's the same clothes he's still wearing till today in trials. That same Fendi outfit. That's the same clothes he's still wearing till today. So he's saying that they violated all the laws you can think about. Anywhere you fall, you can find a law. They violated it. African and Human Peoples Law, United Nations Charter, yes. He has to keep repeating it over and over again. Because whenever you have opportunity like this, where there is like the case is going on, there's a lot of, interviews going on, this is the best time to say it. You have to keep repeating your truth so people do not go out there and falsify, But the good thing is that in this trial, the Nigerian government has finally agreed that they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they've already violated the law. So in essence, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not even be in trial at all. If they want to follow due process, they have to take him back to where they brought him from and see how they can start the due process from there. And that one is already pretty much late because they've already started wasting people's time and energy. So the Nigerian government was trying to be smart by half when they played this trickery on everyone. But I'm happy that everything is coming to light. Everything is coming to light. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still hale and healthy. He's still solid. He's still holding on. And most of his predictions are coming to pass. And I'm praying that, in the year Queen Elizabeth died, the Igbos, the Biafrans, the indigenous people will be free. The Bible even, I think if you read the Bible in Isaiah, it said the year King Uzziah died, the year King Uzziah, rather, the year King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. So hopefully, in the same year that Queen Elizabeth died, we pray that the indigenous people all around the world will get their freedom from subjugation, from oppression, from colonialism, from just all-around hatred, and from theft of their resources. Because let me tell you, most people do not know, I won't want to agree, but if the Igbo people are free, if the Biafrans are free, it's going to be a blessing for all of its neighbors. At least starting from there. So until then, we'll keep repeating the same thing over and over again, requesting for justice, requesting for equity, requesting for, for protection of our human rights, our right to speech, our right to expression. So please go out there and speak up. Stand up for something. Stand up for justice. It is not enough to go steal all the money in the world. When you die, you're still going to leave it. So let us watch and see. Let us keep watching. Let us keep praying. And let us keep hoping that things get better from here. Not just in Africa, but in our own individual lives. So that we will be a source of blessing to other people. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank Mazi Chisom especially for your comments. I really appreciate all your comments. And hopefully the trial goes on. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Court of Appeal passes a judgment, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is let go, before the end of this year. And, and we'll continue from there. We'll see what happens. And, but until then, I want to thank you all for being here. Peace out and one love.